Hello and welcome to the Three Man Weave Best Bet Show presented by Bet Rivers. Us three,
It's presented by
Matt.
Circuit, you idiot.
Oh my God. It's presented by Circa. Good God. Good start to the show. Actually, I feel great. This is the best I felt on a Saturday in Vegas ever. The internet, fellas, I think it's pretty crappy. It's choppy.
The internet sponsored by Bet Rivers, but the actual show is
Yes, it's sponsored by
A
Circa.
high quality show, a high quality sponsor. Great to be here, though. It is beautiful morning here in
Yes.
Vegas.
For the record, this will not be the format of the live show next week. We will be at Stadium Swim, all in one shot, and
Much more polished.
looking like an actual sort of live show. This one is just us around a table in our hotel room being dudes.
It's been it's
Takeaways from yesterday, fellas. We were at Beer Park. It was lovely. Jim, the basketball.
James Madison was the best team for 40 straight minutes. The heartbreaker, Kai, was the over-under biggest blowout, 39.5, coming down to Houston Longwood, and Houston won by 40. That was a crusher right at the end of the first round. We thought we were going to make it through. We did not. So, yeah, sadness there, but we got games. We got pool day today. Let's do it.
I just want to FAU. I'll be addressing it publicly in a few days. I'm still gathering my thoughts, my intel on what that was, but a rather disgusting effort from the Owls. But shouts to the under, staying there by a half, making the Barclays 4-0 under sweep complete. So thank you for outscoring enough points in those 4 games, guys.
Yes, I was disappointed in TCU. That sucked. Not my expectations. I was rooting for St. Mary's, I'll be honest. But you know what? Bets did okay, we'll say. I apologize for the video quality. We're dropping a lot of frames, I know. Hopefully you can still hear us okay. We'll try to take you through the schedule. It's chronological order. It's every single game today. Let's get started. We're doing Dayton and Arizona. Arizona's favored by 9-ish, I want to say, fellas. Matthew, I'm kicking it to you to start off the takes.
Yeah, this is Tommy Lloyd's kind of put up or shut up moment here. I think he's trying to get the vanquish them demons, Jim. Dayton obviously coming off an insane. What did Nevada play any offense in the final 5 minutes? That was absolutely embarrassing. I know Dayton was really good, but that was very much a Nevada indictment. Mountain West, by the way, quick tangent, 3-3 yesterday. Not a complete disaster, but not exactly a dominant showing.
That's correct.
I like the 3-3.
I don't think so.
Who's
2 and 4, Mountain West.
2-4. I think
2 and 4. Sorry, 2 and 4. Anyway, that aside, I think numbers way too high. I think Dayton in a more of a slower paced, mucky game where you might have the best player on the floor. I'll just take the 9. Like kind of a simple, punchy handicap for me.
Yeah, let's try to get it in the half court. And that's kind of what Dayton does. They play super slowly. Tommy Lloyd's 0-5 against the spread in NCAA tournament games. Now you have to win by double digits against a team with arguably the best player. I don't really buy that, Guy. I think it's too high. I saw the total tick down a point. I think that makes sense. Can Dayton keep this ridiculous Arizona transition offense out of the open floor? That's the goal. I think it's too high. I think Dayton keeps this close. I would lean under, given the way that the money's moving and my expectation for the tempo of this game, but I'm not betting that. I'm with Matt though. Is Tommy Lloyd going to win by 10 when he hasn't covered a game? I don't believe it.
I lean towards Dayton too, fellas. Arizona's prettier to watch, but Dayton can really muck up games. And Deron Holmes, once again, he's a mismatch for everybody in the country. He was against Nevada. He will be against Arizona. I think the Cats win. I'm agreeing with Jim here. I think Dayton hangs around, makes it close. Not a strong opinion, though. Perhaps we have one in this game, though, fellas. Kansas, Gonzaga. Kansas, a 4-point underdog to the big, bad Ags. Some think this spread is outrageous in terms of KU being a dog in this situation, despite not having Kevin McCullough. Some feel it's fair. Jim, what do you feel?
I think it's too low. I think Gonzaga smokes them. I know Gonzaga's coming off like basically a perfect offensive performance last game, and there could be some regression, not going to shoot the ball quite as well. But I think Kansas' lack of depth and talent beyond their top 3 players is going to show up here. I'm not worried about Gonzaga's lack of guard depth in this game because Kansas doesn't really bring pressure. That's not a problem. I just think Gonzaga can kind of overwhelm them in the post. I'm not worried about Hunter Dickinson as a post-up defender against EK. Maddie, they just got to keep EK out of foul trouble. That's my big concern against Dickinson side. But I like Gonzaga. I already bet them. I actually took the bad number -4.5. So I like 3.5 even better.
And I think 4 is high. I all valid points, Jimbo. I'm trying to refresh my Bet Labs page here for Bill Self as an underdog in the month of March. But while I stall for that, Kai, I mean, I think people are like rushing to fade KU because they didn't deserve to win last game when they probably didn't. Shouts to Timber Fake on the no foul call, and the referees doing what they could to get the Jayhawks across to the round of 32.
Classic.
But that aside, I just do feel like it's too high. But Grant Mike, I think this is a coming out party for Grant Mike, to Jim's point. Like his floater interior 6 to 8 feet game has just been money, absolute money. Depth concerns for Gonzaga too, kind of a little bit, but I don't know. Obviously, KU is reeling more with McCullough stuff. So.
I'm torn in this game. I don't know what I'm gonna bet yet. I think it's a little high. That's my lean. I think it's a little bit high. I think Dickinson is a fine matchup for EK. I think KU is still KU. They were up on Sanford by like 15 in that game. I know they let them come back, but I still think there's some ability there for the old Jayhawks. So I would lean towards KU ever so slightly. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Michigan State, North Carolina is the next one on the rundown. The Tar Heels, Matthew, you call them the Tar Bums, are favored by 3-4. I think got up to 4 right now. Who do you like in this game?
It'll be the best bet for me on the other side. I'm back on the Tom Izzo and March thing. I think I said it doesn't matter. No, it matters today. It matters big time today. UNC didn't look great in the opener. I think Michigan State, on the other hand, looked phenomenal. I was shocked that they completely stymied Mississippi State, whose offense was basically the Josh Hubbard show. Outside of that, they had no other options. But when we talked about before in last week's show, it's a top 10 defense. It's been like a legit defense for a while. I just don't think anyone's taking it seriously because it's in the Big Ten and we don't take the Big Ten that seriously offensively. So I think Michigan State defense is very real, and they have, big time made for March shot makers, as Kai would call it, with Tyson Walker and the way Akins is playing and Hogard. So I like Michigan State +4. I think it's a one possession game. I feel like I'm just getting some free point skis here.
Interesting. I kind of lean the other way. I think I'm a little more North Carolina here. I think Michigan State's lack of connectivity at times will show up here. They were hot early out of the gates against Mississippi State, and that kind of made the difference. They're a very good defense in terms of being a shell. You're not like walking to the basket and straight line drives. You have to be able to shoot over the top a little bit. Matt, can RJ Davis shoot? Is he pretty good?
Not too shabby.
He's pretty good at it. Okay, so I think he's going to be able to go over the top. Cormac Ryan can make shots over the top. If that opens up space for Cadeau drives, then it starts to get very interesting. And I think Baycott is going to be the best center on the floor, Kai, no matter which of the 4 meager options Michigan State throws out. So I actually am a Tar Heel lean here, Matthias, despite your best bet. Sorry, bud.
Tom Izzo, Kai. Tom Izzo, 25-17 against the spread as a dog in March.
Wow.
How about that? Goalpost.
25-23-1 overall in March.
I'm going Michigan State as well. Izzo versus Hubert Davis. You kidding me? 4 points? Yeah, I'm going Michigan State. I'm going the Sparties. I'm with Matthew.
Like small and big.
Yes. Okay. Next game, Clones. Unfortunately, also, no offense to Kyle Smith. We love Kyle Smith, but Washington State. Drake blows another first round game after leading by a good margin.
8 with 5 minutes left.
8 with 5 minutes left.
Huge Drake contingent here at the Flamingo too. It was actually heartbreaking to
Yes.
see. Like many faces, just
I would say almost everybody in South Point was on Drake. Didn't work out, but alas, Washington State, Iowa State, Clones favored by 6. Injury concerns for Washington State, Jim? Question mark.
Yeah, Miles Rice was banged up towards the end of that game. He did come back in. I had a live Drake bet when I saw him go to the locker room. That also lost along with the pregame Drake wager. I think Washington State benefited from Drake shrinking from the moment. Now they have one real ball handler against Iowa State's pressure. I think that is a major problem. Matt, I know Washington State's bigger and they're going to probably be able to get on the offensive glass a little bit against Otzelberger's crew. But I think there's going to be a lot of turnovers on the Washington State side. I think that defense is going to give them a lot of problems. I lean towards Iowa State. They convinced me. They were very good against South Dakota State. I think they get it done again.
Yeah, I think the number's too high, but I think the matchup concerns are very real enough to where I'm not gonna get involved. Like I was trying to break down who Washington State has played this year that pressures. I mean, the Pac-12 is not really a pressure focused league. We made the same point, I think, with the Jack Bonnies going against Iowa State. We made the same point with Yale going against Auburn. Now that didn't work out at all. That just was a weird game, and I can't believe Yale won that. That aside, I think the fact that Washington only has 2 real ball handlers, haven't seen real pressure. But I don't know if I trust Iowa State's offense kind of to cover 6.5 against Mr. Gatorade, Kyle Smith himself.
Do we notice the crowd in Iowa State versus
It's
Wait.
extremely Iowa State
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Omaha.
Yeah, there's a ton
Omaha.
of Iowa State. I'm going Iowa State, fellas. I think Iowa State covers here pretty easily. I agree. The defense is going to give Washington State's ball handlers issues. I really think it's going to be tough for the Cougars to score. Give me the Clones -6. Matt, stop drumming on your coffee cup. Thank you. Okay, next game. We're cruising, fellas. We're cruising again. Sorry for the video quality. It's not our fault. Blame the hotel we're staying at, which is not Circa. We're not staying at Circa right now.
Yeah, we can throw daggers at the Flamingo. We've had some issues with this.
We're saying the Flamingo. It's just really shitty internet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oakland, NC State is where we're going next. The Golden Grizz pulled it off. They beat John Calipari. He got fired. Kentucky fans are in shambles. He's gone. They wanted him gone.
Is
So he's
that
gone.
an official?
No.
We weren't supposed to actually share that, yeah. But he is fired. You heard it here.
No. Greg Campy led Oakland. 40 years at the program. Great story. They're playing NC State, who vanquished Texas Tech. Another upset. 6-point spread. Matthew, NC State is favored. Who do you got?
Kind of torn on this game. I think the DJ Burns mojo is just too fun to not keep riding. I'd like the boombox entrance with the student manager, and he comes out just swagging and horns behind him doing his thing. I just think there's a lot of mojo of moxie with this group, Jimbo. So again, we talked about how we like NC State coming off a quick turnaround, not a very deep team, especially if you got to play Burns big minutes. But your boy Mo Diarra looks like a nice little ball player. Probably could have used him this year over in Columbia. I think that front line is actually the difference in this game. NC State front line difference. Didn't think you'd be saying that shit.
Thank you for the Mizzou ricochet shot. We needed that. We're not hurting enough already. Over best bet 147. I think both teams have really real routes to points here. Burns is going to be a massive problem for Conway and Townsend are good, but they are not big. I think they will have issues defending him in the post. You get some collapsing, you get kick out threes, driving closeouts. I think NC State can score. And on the other end, if Burns is on the floor, Golke's getting jumpers. Like he's not going to be able to handle when they're doing like the dribble handoff stuff or off ball screens. He's flying around off those. Burns isn't going to be like hard hedging that. And so I think that starts to create space for Oakland. I think both teams can score. On a side, I would lean towards Oakland, actually. I don't think NC State should be like laying a touchdown.
Yeah, it feels high. I agree. It does.
But best bet over 147.
Yeah, I'm going to Golden Grizz. Not sure they're going to win outright, but I think they can hang with NC State. I think they can actually kind of put up a fight. We'll say with DJ Burns. He's amazing. He's fantastic to watch. The refrigerator with ballerina legs. Townsend and Conway, both solid bigs. Obviously, Oakland will be in his zone for a lot of the game, I assume, unless Campy switches it up. But I love Golke, man. He's a fun guy to root for. Lampman can shoot. Oakland is my lean in that one, +6. Okay, Texas, Tennessee, the Rick Barnes Bowl. He took Texas to a Final Four. Yes,
Sure did.
back in the
TJ
day.
Ford.
TJ Ford.
Many moons ago.
Now he's at Tennessee, trying to do the same with the Vols. He's got to get past Texas. The spread in this one,
6.5.
Okay.
6.5.
Okay, high or low, Matthew?
I think it's about right. Gut tells me it's that the eyes of Texas should be upon me as a Texas backer, but I'm not going to take it right now. The Tennessee offense just is too good for me to fade it. But I think the Texas as a dog spot here, just gut tells me that plays well here, Jim. I think this is a close game. I mean, we saw Texas last season, right? Like, we're not huge Rodney Terry fans, but made a deep run. They have great players who have been here before, and I think the talent's going to matter in a game when you're going against big time talent, big time athletes, etc.
Yeah, I think we razz Rodney Terry, but as a dog, I don't mind him.
Yeah, right.
The one I was not very impressed with them against Colorado State. I know it was like kind of an easy cover, and I was on Texas, but I didn't walk away from it like, oh man, they are convincingly great. It just kind of felt more like, sorry, Mountain West, but you're not very good. I'm not in a rush to bet on this game, though, Kai. I don't think I have a very strong lead in this one. compared to some of the others on the slate. Number just felt a tad high. And again, I don't mind Rodney Terry's dog. I just don't want to lay points.
I think it feels a little bit high too, Jim. I'm leaning towards Texas on the number. I really hope Tennessee wins, though. I don't want to see Texas go further, and I like this Tennessee team a lot. Dalton Connect. More Dalton Connect is good for the tournament. If he were to make the Final Four, I'd be totally cool with seeing him and down in Phoenix.
I believe Rick Barnes 10-21 against the spread in the NCAA tournament.
Not great.
He did get a cover in the first round. They whomped their opponent.
They did. St. Peter's.
Yes.
Haha. Revenge for the St. Peter's 0-4 ATS tournament that one year. Okay, next game on the rundown. Duquesne, Illinois. Tell you what, you know how many people had Duquesne against BYU? It was one guy. I don't know where he was, but it was just one. So congratulations
Good for
Duquesne.
him.
Yes, they overcame the odds. Everyone, including hands up, me and maybe Matt and Jim, thought BYU would clean their clock. Didn't. Duquesne looked like the better shooting team, despite what the season showed. Now they get Illinois, and they're double-digit dogs or 9-point dogs, 9-10, wherever you find. Illinois looked pretty darn good in their opening round. They extended against Morehead State. Jim, your thoughts on this game?
I think Duquesne's just better now than they were all season. Like the market and the numbers are probably not fully adjusting for how good they are. Matt, since February 15th, so the last month, Duquesne is 38th in the country per Bart Torvik, and they have the number 4 defense in the country.
Yeah, D's been great.
The team is they have the physicality, the front court. Now, I think his Dixon traveled like 8 times in the first game. He kept shuffling his feet in the post, and for some reason, no one was calling it. Perhaps that could be something to watch today, but I'm just kind of scared of this Illinois offense. I thought Morehead was doing a great job keeping it close, and then suddenly it was like 15-0 in a heartbeat, and that's what Illinois can do to you. Duquesne does have positional size to handle Damask, and they're going to try to make it half court, muck it up, not let Shannon get out in transition. But that was Morehead's goal too, and look what happened to them. Like Shannon got in transition, and he scores every time he does. But I just think it's a little high given how much better Duquesne has been playing. 11-1 in their last 12 games, like I said, and top 40 in Bart Torvik. So I lean Duquesne.
Yeah, what's Jakub Nikas? How do you say his name? Nikas? Yeah, he's great. He's been great lately. Duquesne's been using like a weird hodgepodge of rotations all year. Like Dan Brought's very quick to push new buttons when one button's not working. David Dixon's been kind of a key piece all season. I think it's a weird matchup for those guys who are a little bit more, paint bound, and I think Illinois can stretch them away with more of their spacing. I just think the bigger angle here is Illinois overs are just undefeated. It feels like
20 of their last 25 games.
They went under twice in a row. They lost to Purdue. That game went under because it got tight late, and Iowa somehow went under shockingly, and then over. Even against Morehead last game, Kluger, under team. Spradlin came out and said we are going to try to do everything we can to slow it down, and then you get Illinois on the same floor, and they go 15-0, as Jim said, in a second, and then you don't have a chance. I like the over here guy. I know Duquesne's a defensive, gritty-minded team, but they're making shots, as Jim mentioned. I think if it gets out of hand, it's going to get up and down, and not a best bet for me, but a better bet.
Yeah, if they have talented guards, J.D. Grant is great. The problem was their shot selection during the season was so bad. They didn't hit shots. Their offense was bad. If they make shots like they did against BYU, I do think the over is a great play. The pace, I think, will be there.
147 per our fine sponsor at Circle.
I would lean towards your way, Matthew. I'd be leaning towards Duquesne. It feels like some of these in these tournament settings, it feels like when that dog is rolling, a la your St. Peter's of a couple of years ago, it might be smarter to just keep rolling.
It's like their only major flaw was they can't shoot, but if they're just hot, and they have everything else going. Yeah, well coached, good with glass.
All right, last game before best bets recap. It's Oregon, it's Creighton, it's the Dana Altman Bull. The former Creighton coach is now coaching against Oregon. He's fantastic in the tournament. What did he move to with that win?
16-6 against the spread in the NCAA tournament. Pretty good.
16-6 is pretty darn good. Oregon +5 is my best bet, fellas. Pardon me. I don't think you can lose a best bet on your birthday, and I'm going to go with Oregon +5. Okay.
Happy birthday to.
I'm not a big it's my birthday guy, but I just wanted to slide that in.
It's it was cool.
Yeah. Matt, I'm going with Oregon +5. This team is playing to the level we thought they would in the preseason. Dante's a beast. That's my handicap. Okay.
I agree. I was My hesitation, I'm with you on Oregon. My hesitation is I missed the better number. I think it opened 6. Now it's down to 5. And Creighton just looked really good in the opener against Akron. A matchup that we thought would be tough. They struggled at first, but they started making shots. Defensively, I think maybe Oregon exposes Creighton a little more than Akron did, and we've seen Creighton's defense be exposed by athletes and speed, which Oregon certainly has. The way Kuznar's been playing. Shellstad's got that confidence, and Dante's just a different animal. He's just, I think he will, if Creighton can somehow, if Oregon somehow find a way to get past Creighton today, I think Dante's becomes the darling star, not named Jack Golke of this tournament.
I love Oregon. I think Creighton is coming off a darling performance where they shot 59% from 3 and Akron shot 21%. That final score was very misleading. I think if you correct and regress those numbers to even something mildly reasonable, that is a very, very close game, and we think a little bit differently about Creighton right now. Oregon in March is very real. I think the changing defenses, throwing out 1-2-2 to slow it down, then a matchup zone, they fall back into man-to-man. All that different stuff could keep Creighton guessing a little bit, out of rhythm, not as comfortable as a jump shooting team. And I think Oregon can handle the drop coverage. Kalkbrenner's always sitting there in the paint. Matt mentioned the guards. Shellstad, Kuznard, I think they can hit those pull-up jumpers. Kai, I'm with you. Your best bet, birthday boy. I like the Ducks. Quack, quack.
All right. Love it. Best bet recap. Here we go. I just said mine is Oregon +5. Okay, Jim, what's yours?
Oakland, NC State over 147. I think both teams can score fairly easily. And I can see tempo getting up and down a little bit there with NC State wanting to run. So Oakland, NC State over 147. Matthew.
Michigan State, Tom Izzo March +4. Enough said.
Enough said for the week. Again, one more time. We apologize for the video quality of this program. We're doing a show same time tomorrow. Are we?
We sure are.
Yes. Matt, I just realized might not be. Are you going to be home by then?
I'll check.
Okay.
I'm clear.
It might just be me and Jim, or it might be, it might just be me and Jim. So stay tuned for tech or tweets on that one. That's it. That's the show. Thanks to Circa Sports. We'll be back here at Circa Stadium Swim today, just to have fun. Next week, we're going live from Circa Stadium Swim. That'll be good. Tomorrow's going to suck again with Flamingo Internet. Okay. Goodbye. Thanks for joining. See ya. Good luck with your butts.